And then the doctor just cut me off. And what do you know, just like everybody's story back then, if you had a friend and something was wrong, you got pills, and went from Vicodin, went to Oxy, which eventually went to heroin.
Welcome to another edition of Recovery Happens. My name is Patrick Patterson, Center Manager for BW Rock. September is National Recovery Month, and we want to thank you. Today we're going to be sitting down with Stacy as she offers hope to encourage recovery.
What was my life like growing up as a child? Well, I had two absent parents. I come from an Italian family where we're supposed to be very tight-knit and supportive of each other. However, my mother took a different route. She would drop me off to the babysitter and not come pick me up for a couple months. So I got passed around to a lot of family members, and unfortunately, when in-laws started to get involved with my childhood came what I'm just going to leave as an open childhood trauma. So it wasn't good. It was not good at all.
When and how did you realize you had a problem with drugs or alcohol?
Well, originally I was in a car accident and I was prescribed 36 Vicodin a week. This was back in like 1995, which we all know the OxyContin story. Nothing was kind of introduced that you were going to have a problem. I took the Vicodins for like 6 months, and then the doctor just cut me off. And what do you know, just like everybody's story back then, if you had a friend and something was wrong, you got pills, and went from Vicodin, went to Oxy, which eventually went to heroin. Okay, what has my life been like since recovery? Well, in the beginning, it was very rough. For those that know some of my story, my pathway was methadone, and I'm here because of methadone, but I also made the decision to detox from it medically and properly, which from start to finish took 2 years. So that part of the recovery was a blessing, but at the same time, it was very rough. Because when I came off the methadone, it was like I was getting clean all over again. And that's just my story. It saved my life, but at the same time, the day that I walked out of the methadone clinic, it was like, oh my gosh, there's nothing in my system. What do I do? What I chose to do was another year of outpatient services just to make sure that I was okay. And, from there, my story's a little different than everybody else's because I started to see that medical assisted treatment was very shunned. It was a huge stigma. And I myself, when they told me that I was getting put on methadone, I was like, you've got to be kidding me, right? It was okay to use toilet water to shoot heroin, but in my addict brain, it wasn't okay to be on methadone. But I decided to give it a chance. And when I started advocating, I took a lot of blows to the face, and a lot of people, said that what I was doing was wrong. But it built this strength in me. All the shots that I had taken for what I was doing was wrong. By supporting medical assisted treatment made me stronger, and it definitely turned me into what I am today. So my recovery is beautiful now because of all the fights and all the blows that I took to my face and to my life turned into what it is today, which is complete support from my recovery community. My biggest triumph, definitely 100%, was when I birthed Drug Free All Stars. I was called a drug dealer. I was told that I was killing people by taking them out of the recovery rooms, and that what I was doing was wrong. And then my biggest triumph, I would definitely have to say, I was an absent parent. I didn't lose my children to addiction. I gave them away. My biggest triumph was when my daughter went into recovery. And that was my best parenting, was teaching my daughter how to recover.
What do you feel your purpose is today?
To help people. To let people know that no matter what their pathway is, and whether they're in active addiction, whether they're in recovery, whether they're going to use for the first time, that there's a way out. I just want people to know that there's help. I want people to know that there's a place for them in this world. And if anything, I want people to know that we're here to fight with them, for them, because of them. That's my purpose in life, is to let, anybody, not just addicts, I always tell people you can be addicted to cats. I don't care. It's my human nature to help other people, and I always go by integrity, and that, it's my duty as a human to help other humans. That's it. That's just what it comes down to.
Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Recovery Happens. Blue Water Recovery and Outreach Center is not a state-funded program. We're privately funded by individual donors like yourself. If you'd like to partner with us, join the fight by going to bwroc.org and click donate. We'd like to thank our sponsor, Chef Shells.